It is officially August 20th on the calendar, and that means our sun is now moving away from the bright, charismatic sign of Leo and transitioning into the practical, order-loving, and structured sign of Virgo. This shift invites us to focus on refinement and organization in our daily lives. If before this moment we lived in the realm of charisma, in the constant display of masks and brightness, while hiding our true selves, then now it is finally time to grow up. It is time to leave those illusions behind and embrace who we really are. Virgo guarantees us that after the sun enters its sign, orderliness, a calm life, and standards will appear in our lives. But at the same time, the problems that remained as a tale of the sun in Leo, they will not go away on their own. Literally, once we move past August 23rd, significant changes await us all, changes for the better. This is because the long period of uncertainty and fog is finally closing. However, we must also acknowledge that at the same time, the current period of brightness is also coming to a close. So how do we take that brightness with us, but also maintain the order of things, create our own way of life, and submit to the influence of the sun in Virgo? And will we be able to grow up when this wonderful date, August 23rd, passes? All these questions may worry you at the end of this month. After all, autumn is coming soon, and it's important for us to understand what plan we have left until the end of 2026, where to move. And even more so, this particular question arises especially vividly and urgently if we happen to be in a committed relationship. And today, I have carefully prepared for you the single most important topic of the entire month, which will be raised and discussed very sharply and honestly, the complex, ever-evolving topic of our relationships. And now we arrive at the single most important question. Is it truly time for you to leave, or are you meant to stay? I'm certain you have already been wrestling with these thoughts. And so, in this video, it is important for you to listen very carefully to what I tell you, to what the cards have to say, and to how fate will ultimately handle the choice you make. Let's look a little deeper. I have prepared a very exciting format for you. We have a table that is divided into two sectors. This part represents the answer yes, stay, and this part represents the answer no, you must leave. I've also prepared a small chest for you, which contains stones of various shapes and different colors. I'll take them out one by one and perform a cast of fate, which will determine for you whether to leave or stay. But that's not all. Yes, we won't do a reading right at the start. We'll delve into the topic a bit deeper first, and only then ask the cards. Once we find out what answer awaits us, whether to leave or stay, we'll lay out the cards to answer several questions. What was holding us back? Why this specific energetic value? What will the new Virgo period starting on the 23rd open up for you? And what profound life-changing message from the universe has already been carefully prepared just for you? So please watch this video very closely. Take a moment to find your specific zodiac sign in the timestamps provided below and listen carefully to discover exactly how to activate that powerful message from the universe that is waiting for you right now, just around the corner. Let's start with the zodiac sign Pisces. Pisces have always been known for their duality and emotionality, and this year, for you, dear Pisces, was a unique creation of your own illusions. You spent almost all of 2026 in a state where it was as if a shroud was covering the road before you, and it was this shroud that made you shy away from what might have been the most correct decision. It was also hard for Pisces this year to create something new, to take the first step in new endeavors, because it seemed as if all paths and roads were either already taken by someone or blocked off. But I have good news for you, Pisces. Now, after the 23rd, a unique period of action begins, and specifically, action with a sense of mindfulness. You'll no longer be tossed from side to side, and you'll stop doubting yourself. But to do it right, it's important to listen to what we're about to discuss. The Sun's transition into Virgo marks a period that is the opposite of what you have experienced until now. If you think of your zodiac sign, it is two fish, much like the yin and the yang. Before this, the yin was black, and now it is time to transition into a white state. Your fish will become white and balance out all the negative, unpleasant, and unconscious things that happened at the start of this year. So do not miss this chance. Listen until the end, and let us make our most important and correct choice. I am now going to tune in to you, dear Pisces. Please watch this video very closely and take a deep breath while I begin to tune in deeply to your unique energy. Now, I am going to gently throw this stone to see exactly where it lands for you. Will it settle into the stay sector, or will it find its place in the leave sector? Let's find out together. As a reminder, this is about your relationship, that most important question that concerns you most right now, whether to stay here with this person or to leave. Let us see. I'm beginning to tune in. Deep breath in and out. Now I will take a stone and throw it onto the cloth. Should you leave, or are you going to stay? So the choice is made. Let us take a look. The stone landed on the stay sector. Congratulations, Pisces. If that is what you wanted, then fate itself has decided your story. Now let us ask the cards three main questions: why you should stay, what awaits you after August 23rd, and the most important answer from this universe. There is very important information to share with you, dear Pisces, so that you stop doubting and seeing fog in literally everything. So I am laying out three cards. First, what is really holding you right here and now. Next, we will look face down at what happens after the 23rd and a piece of advice from the universe. So, Pisces, get ready. The most important information for you is coming now. Listen carefully. So, what is really keeping you in this place right now? And you get the Tower card. Dear Pisces, you don't have to worry too much, because the Tower is not just about destruction. Although it is a negative card, it can definitely be said that it is also the energy of change. And such changes where you will destroy everything to the ground and build something new. What exactly should be destroyed, Pisces? I told you before that in this particular astrological forecast, the destruction of your own illusions awaits you. That's why right now you should stay, don't leave. Don't leave just one step before the destruction of your illusions. Because it is the destruction of illusions that gives the opportunity to build something new on these ashes. When you break the system and your tower of castles in the air, of what you made up for yourself or what blocked your vision, collapses, then the construction of the new will begin, what you have dreamed of for so long. And this is the most important reason for you to stay. Now let's look at the second card. What should you expect in this Virgo season after the 23rd? 10 of Pentacles. Dear Pisces, after the 23rd, not only will your relationships gain a more solid foundation, but interesting material resources will also come into your hands. It's as if you will immerse yourself in the material world. For you, everything you dreamed of before will become more real. Remember, I talked about illusions. Illusions are what you dreamed of but haven't been able to get until now. And the Ten of Pentacles is your real life in this material world. After all, it is often difficult for Pisces to move into the real world and enjoy earthly blessings. But it is in the period after August 23rd that you will have an incredible opportunity when all resources become tangible. Therefore, Pisces, this period is very favorable for you, so don't leave just one step before the destruction of your illusions. Stay. Fate itself told you to stay. And be sure to use those blessings that will come into your hands on their own. And the third card that we are going to look at right now is the card showing what your September will be like if you stay, and the most important advice from the universe. Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is the card of the lone warrior, and this means that after you destroy everything to the ground and everything unnecessary is gone, you will remain either surrounded by the closest and truest people who will give you their energy, and you will be able to give back to them in return. When you completely cut off those connections that used to be useful, but now no longer bring such pleasure and interest, and of course are empty. Now is the time to filter your surroundings. After your state has been renewed, after you ground yourself and find a material foundation, a pure intention awaits you. Yes, you can remain in it alone. But staying is not about being in a pair, or rather, not only about being in a pair, it's also about the fact that you will be able to accept yourself both in a solitary state and in surroundings, and you will already generate this energy from within, rather than feeding on it only from the outside. For you, Pisces, this is a very favorable period because it is incredibly specific. What you have been missing so much since the beginning of this year will be realized in the second half after September 23rd. Finally, you will be able to create order, peace, groundedness, and acceptance of yourself, both in a solitary format and in society. Pisces, this was the forecast for you. Listen now and rewind if you didn't remember something, and be sure to take the universe's advice and of course take action, and don't stop just one step before the renewal. Continue to follow this path. Aquarius, this forecast is for you. Literally throughout the entire year 2026, the world showed you, as if in a broken mirror, your reflection from different sides, millions of thousands of reflections. What does this mean for you? That you've managed to try yourself in various roles. You've seen yourself from different sides, and you've been able to achieve quite high results because your activity, Aquarius, knew no bounds, because this year you've literally discovered a cheat code for leveling up this life, but you tried to do it through reflection. People around you were hinting where to go because they were revealing your true intentions, true desires, and that authenticity that is within you, and in you, it is multifaceted. Such hyperactive and curious signs are quite rare to encounter. And if you are living this life in the positive for an Aquarius, then you are literally enjoying the benefits of this world. Even if it sometimes seems to you that something is going wrong, for you, Aquarius, this is growth. You grow and learn through this world because you are everywhere, here, there, everywhere. For such zodiac signs, it's important not to be placed within the bounds of restriction. This is very similar to Sagittarius. You are both curious, both ready to move. But the fundamental difference between you, Aquarius, and Sagittarius is that all the work of knowing this world happens from within. You've made a decision. You're moving, but you have a structure. You don't do it chaotically. You are very smart and ready to calculate every step, but at the same time, agree to new adventures and look at yourself honestly. Ending the period of the Sun in Leo, when you were already at the peak of your energy, now you'll have to cool your heels a bit and do a review of the path you've traveled. After all, the Sun in Virgo, one way or another, brings everyone to a sense of order. And no matter how much you want to rush into everything, Aquarius, remember, you've already done all the most important tasks in the first half of the year up to this point. Now you need to check in a bit and after the review, move forward. But now your reflection will show not only your current state of soul, but also show future prospects. Perhaps new projects will open up in money or in business or even at work if you are an employee. And perhaps this will show new perspectives in the relationship. Now we will find this out in more detail. But Aquarius, what kind of relationship will be developmental for you? What will be able to center you not only on love, on mutual giving, but also on your financial resources? After all, it's important to you that you, I repeat, are not restricted. Freedom of thought for you, Aquarius, must always be present. Otherwise, if you are cut off and your creative potential is limited, you won't be able to reach those heights you previously dreamed of. And here is another important point. You have an incredibly large amount of energy, Aquarius, and you tend to give a lot of it to the world. Yes, in most cases, this happens through mutual exchange. But in a relationship, if you found a person who lives like a symbiote at your expense, not just financially, but also morally and emotionally, then sooner or later, all your energy will be drained. So to take an honest look at this situation in your relationship and decide whether to leave or stay, let's see, before we lay out the cards, which decision will be the most free and non-restrictive for you. Is there a perspective in your relationship and is it worth continuing further? To what extent does it restrict you or support you? So I will now throw a stone, tune into your energy, the energy of versatility and action. If the stone falls on this side, it will mean to stay. If on this side, it means to leave. So I'm tuning into your energy, the energy of action, determination and versatility, as well as curiosity and all-roundedness. Now I will throw the stone, and before laying out the cards, we will find out the most important answer. To leave or to stay or to leave. Now I will open my eyes, and we will find out the universe's answer. Aquarius, well, literally on the very edge of the table, the stone tells you to stay. Aquarius, this relationship is important to you, it keeps you afloat and doesn't restrict you at all. Let's look at 3 cards. The 3 most important questions for this period. So, Aquarius, let's ask the main questions. First, what is your unique mental connection with your partner? Second question, how to bring a breath of freedom and new turns to the relationship. So how to bring a breath of freedom and novelty to the couple. And the third question, what is the most significant and interesting thing that awaits your couple this fall? The most significant and interesting. So the cards are laid out. Let's start with the first card. What is your unique connection with your partner? And here is the 6 of Pentacles. Aquarius, you and your partner have come a long, thorny way. Perhaps you started moving forward when you were both starting from scratch and supported each other as best you could. You could have been at different levels, or maybe at the same one, but nevertheless, you started from nothing when neither of you had anything. What does this mean? It means that at the moment when you were building a life together and plans for the future, you strengthened your mental connection so much, you literally learned to speak without words. And that means that this inner feeling, when you can silently build plans for the future with each other, is worth a lot. That is your uniqueness. You are different at the same time, but inside, in your head, you are very similar. And even more so for you Aquarius, who are very multifaceted inside, it's easy to find the key to your soulmate. And it's easy for your soulmate to connect with you because they know all the different sides of you. Both when you had no money and when you were in abundance, when you were sad or happy. Your soulmate already knows everything about this and therefore can speak without words. That is the strength of your mental connection. Let's look at the second card. How to bring a fresh breath of freedom and inspiration to the couple. And here is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands says that there's absolutely no need to fundamentally reset yourself to a different mindset. You just need to take some kind of action together. It could be a trip, it could be a getaway out of town. You don't even necessarily have to go far, but you must step outside of your usual routine. If you're used to spending time following the same script, for example, on Sundays, you go to the store to buy groceries, all week in the evenings you watch TV, and on Friday, for instance, you drink beer while watching a match. This is all familiar and interesting, but it's time to step out. It's time to go beyond the boundaries of your usual script. And be sure to do it together. You've been lacking a trip together for a long time. Right now, don't be stingy, buy a ticket and go somewhere you haven't been in a long time, or somewhere you've never been at all. For you, Aquarius, travel is very important, and your partner will definitely share this journey and will be grateful. And this gratitude will charge you up for the rest of the month. Even if these are unexpected expenses for you, it will bring you much more in terms of resources and, in return, financial well-being. So a joint trip outside of your usual routine to see something new, to be inspired by something new, that's your secret to freedom and new inspiration in your relationship. Well, and let's look at the third card. What's the most interesting and unusual thing waiting for you closer to autumn when the sun enters its main peak in Virgo thoroughly and stably? Ace of Pentacles. Well, literally what I've been talking about from the very beginning. Aquarius, remember, all through 2026, you've been looking at your own reflection, improving, self-developing, trying, stumbling, trying, and achieving. You've walked this beautiful path and your partner has accompanied you at every stage. And now there's one small step left to improve your situation, both in your relationship and as a result in your finances. Because you got the Ace of Pentacles. This means that in September, an incredibly material, large, significant prosperity awaits you. You've been investing for so long. You're now ready to embrace novelty in your relationship, to go somewhere together, to rethink the structure of your relationship, to take the right, true step, to decide that all this will later pay off in a financial flow. I told you not to be afraid to spend money on this trip with your significant other. Right? Now, at the end of this summer and the beginning of autumn, this will return to you as material well-being. The Ace of Pentacles is the most money-oriented card and the most material card of all the cards in the deck. And Aquarians, it went to you specifically. You are lucky ones, fortunate ones. Receive your blessings, please your significant other, be inspired together, travel. And of course, it's definitely important to preserve this relationship. After all, you have the most important thing, your mental connection based on a common cultural code, on common shared situations that you've gone through, on common difficult situations. You've gone through trials together, and now you can communicate without words, speak the language of silence. Aquarians, it's very important for you not to stand still. And today's reading showed that thanks to your significant other, you continue to move forward. So stop wondering now whether you should stay or leave. The universe has already given you the answer. To stay, of course. Take advantage of these recommendations. Take advantage of the sign from the universe and continue to build a future together, trying new things. Aquarians, this is your secret and your resource. Virgos, I know that you've already analyzed absolutely everything. You've calculated it all down to the very last hundredth and thousandth. And I'm certain that you already have a solid, well thought out plan in mind. Because now your time is coming, dear Virgos. The period of chaos is ending. The sun in Leo is replaced by the sun in Virgo. And this means that order is coming not only to your life, but also to your mind. You won't need to demand order from others anymore, because life itself and the whole universe are shifting August into order mode, and everything will fall into place. Not a single extra detail, only precision, only clarity, and only moving forward on the intended path. But there is one important nuance here, Virgos. Yes, you love to analyze everything, and you love it when you already have solutions prepared for every path. But that's just analysis. This analysis might not give you a result. After all, results come from actions. And what is happening in your relationships? To what extent is there really a sense of order and stability in your current relationships? How deeply satisfied are you with what is happening in your life right now? And how much does your partner truly support your personal state of orderliness and your need for a clear, consistent structure in your daily interactions? Because in every sphere, regardless of whether it's relationships or just daily life, finances, resources, everything for you must be predictable and clear. Any chaos makes you feel much more anxious. That's why your strategy is to prepare a space for yourself. But if we're talking about one person, it's easier to organize. But when it comes to a couple, how will you, Virgos, in a pair behave in a given situation? And that's why now, Virgos, the most important question for you is, does the relationship you're in right now nourish your structure or, on the contrary, drain it, creating chaos, uncertainty, and movement that's not in a straight line, but literally in a zigzag? And for you, it's very destructive. So how do you not lose your inner resource and make your relationship as vibrant, interesting, and predictable as possible? Maybe for some it's wrong, for other zodiac signs, for other people, but for you, Virgos, this is a most crucial stage. And now we're going to take a look. Before we proceed to ask the cards for their guidance, I am going to cast this stone. And this stone, guided by the wisdom of the universe and your own unique destiny, will eventually point us toward one of these specific sectors. Let us see where it lands. Yes, stay. No, leave. Each decision will be further divided into 3 branches, which we'll then look at with the cards. Let's hurry and get the stone out. Now I'll tune into your energy of rationalism, order, and structure and throw the stone into one of the sectors with my eyes closed. Let's take a moment to see exactly where the stone lands this time around. It is time to decide whether to leave or stay for Virgo. What will the outcome be? So look, the universe itself acts in a very interesting way. It doesn't like such a non-analytical approach, in a way, but we're going to do a second throw now. Let's take a look. I'm closing my eyes again and asking destiny and the universe to give you a sign, whether Virgo should leave or stay in this relationship. Excellent. I'll open my eyes now. And together we'll take a look and see exactly what the universe has in store for you today. Virgos, look, today we are literally getting yes all the time. Not just for Virgos, but for other zodiac signs too. The answer is coming up yes. But look closely at how close it is to the middle. Perhaps your yes isn't as clearly visible yet as it is for other zodiac signs. Perhaps your correct answer will be more of a yes than a no. Well, that is, you need to pay attention to some details so that your yes grows stronger, Virgos. Remember, if we were talking in percentages as you like, it's about 60-40 here. 60% yes and 40% no. Let's take a moment to really look at this. If you truly want to save this relationship and move forward together, we need to ask ourselves, what parts of that 60% do you, my dear Virgos, need to focus on and strengthen right now to keep things moving in a positive, healthy direction? So let's start with the very first question. When you look at your partner, what is the absolute strongest, most authentic, and most real thing that exists in your relationship today? Second question. What do you criticize too much either in him or in yourself, and this hinders the development of your relationship? And the third question, what will this relationship be like in your season, in the season of the Sun in Virgo? So 3 cards, 3 answers to the question. Let's see what of these 60% you need to squeeze out to the maximum. First question, what is strong and real in your relationship? And here is the Hierophant. Yes, it is truly a card of justice, representing a card of clear mutual agreements. Virgos, when looking at your relationship, the absolute strongest and firmest foundation is its sense of order. Because of this, you always know exactly what to expect from your partner, and they know what to expect from you. You know what the plan for the day will be and what to expect from it. That is, you yourselves have already studied each other so much. You are ready to speak openly. You are ready to show your different sides. And this honesty, this certainty, and even somewhere the legality of it all gives you the support to move forward. Maybe this is not the most ideal option for you. And at times, you might feel like you lack the necessary passion and deep emotions. But please believe me, Virgos, if you were truly destined to stay with this person, and the probability that you need to continue this relationship is more than 50%, just as it was clearly indicated today, then it simply means that you don't actually need these intense emotions so much, and you really don't need this overwhelming passion so much in your life right now. It is about finding stability rather than just fleeting excitement. Trust in the path that is unfolding for you. You are interested in order, you are interested in legality, formalizing the relationship, and without fail, resolving legal issues together. If you are going to buy an apartment, a house, it is definitely important for you to go through these stages of registration together. If you are just at the stage of getting married, it is essential for you that it be an official marriage. And in this formality, order and structure lies the strength and the most important point in your relationship, so that everything is agreed upon in advance, decided and fixed on paper. And your partner is not at all against such rules. This is the strength of your relationship. Let's see what you are overly critical of in him or in yourself, and maybe you are being very biased towards one of the qualities, and you Virgos are hard to please. Nine of Cups, Nine of Cups. You might be very critical of the emotionality of your aspirations, both in your partner and, to a lesser extent, in yourself, because it's not as characteristic of you. You are more about rationality, analytics, and calculation, while he still has those emotional notes. Perhaps your partner has started sharing the emotional side of your relationship's future with you. And if you want to hear clarity, specifics, and precision from him in terms of concrete calculations, numbers, a plan for today, tomorrow, and a month ahead, or sometimes even a year, then he wants that too. Remember that, Virgos. But you just don't hear it in the form you expect. He speaks from an emotional point of view, telling you about his feelings while you want to hear dry numbers. So don't criticize your partner, because that emotional part still lives in you too. You also want love, passion, this energy and involvement, but first you need plans and numbers, and your partner can't convey that to you in a language you're familiar with. It's not a problem, but just knowing this and hearing your partner's emotional explanation once again about how he sees your future, you don't have to worry. These aren't just empty words, and these certainly aren't just fleeting emotions. It might really seem to you deep down that these are just impossible pipe dreams, but there is so much more to it than that. In fact, the plans are serious, they're just not conveyed in the form you're used to receiving. Your partner is ready for a serious relationship, for a serious continuation and the settlement of legal matters. The Hierophant tells us this. And most importantly, what do these relationships become at your peak when the Sun enters Virgo? Let's take a look. The Emperor. The Emperor is truly just incredible prosperity. Yes, there can be a lot of despotism here, and even pressure in some places. But this is exactly where your partner manifests themselves most vividly. If he gave you his word, then you can be certain he followed through. Virgos, this is a powerful moment for you. You now have the unique opportunity to move forward and begin building your own personal joint empire together. Let it be small, let it be conditionally around your home, only in your personal relationships, but nevertheless, it is a concrete plan. You have a home, you have a loved one, and it will be easier to manage these processes further. Only now, at the peak of your Sun, will these relationships become as stable as possible. You got the most stable card of all possible ones. Yes, it can be about power here, somewhere you will need to negotiate, compromise, but all this is so that your joint future is as bright, interesting, productive, and of course, planned as possible. Don't worry anymore about the fact that your partner doesn't give you information backed by facts as much today. After all, in his actions, he is ready to implement. Hear him differently. And here for you, Virgos, is the most important message. I said that these 60%, yes, stay, they will be as strong as possible for you. But you always have a chance to leave. Are you ready, Virgos, at the peak of your Sun, to trust this period and trust your partner? After all, the road ahead is clear and bright and will be backed by facts. And if you are ready, Virgos, to trust, then an interesting new path of tranquility will open for you. Virgos, your analysis, it has already brought you to the point of here and now, and this video is another confirmation of your agreements. So trust the universe, trust your partner, and your analysis will definitely take a concrete form. So don't you worry, and be among those 60% who are confident and move forward with certainty. Тельцы, вот и настало ваше время, этот момент для вас. Что же вам дает период после 23 августа? Вы огненный. Вы не огненный знак, вы земной знак. И Дева – это тоже земной знак. А это значит, что заземление в конце августа и начале сентября и вам пойдет на пользу. Оно не будет рушить конкретно, невероятно, до нуля ваши старые сценарии, оно лишь подсветит те стороны, которые раньше казались положительными, а теперь разрушают вас, потому что это убирает основу из-под ваших ног. Тельцы, вы жуткие материалисты. Для вас важно, чтобы всегда вы прочно стояли на опоре. А если убрать эту опору у вас из-под ног, что тогда случится? Каким будет ваш мир? Или такой вопрос: а что, если та безопасность и стабильность, которая есть сейчас у вас, это всего лишь болото, которое затянуло и оставило вас в этом состоянии бездействия? Хорошие вопросы для того, чтобы поразмыслить над ними не только в рамках этого расклада, но и вообще в целом. И именно эти вопросы будут возникать у вас после 23 августа. Ведь Солнце во Льве ярко сияло для вас блестками, материализмом, в котором вы будто бы маленький ребенок, глядели на все вокруг, удивлялись и были воодушевлены. А что теперь? Теперь все играет не такими яркими красками, и везде видятся только материальные блага без яркого свечения. И нужны ли они вам? Нужны ли вам они как личности? Это тоже хороший вопрос. А что в ваших отношениях, тельцы? Напомню, вы жуткие материалисты и в отношениях любите, когда материальное становится вашей совместной основой. Вы любите больше практичность. Вы любите, когда у вас есть что покушать, у вас есть где жить. Вы любите роскошь, но если у львов это роскошь в подтверждение их яркости и царского статуса, то для тельцов роскошь – это отражение слова «безопасность», это отражение слова «стабильность». Только в стабильной роскоши тельцы чувствуют себя максимально комфортно. И тут вопрос: ваш партнер забирает у вас эту основу или наоборот вместе с вами строит почву? А что чувствуете вы сами? Как в последнее время после анализа ваших отношений, а может быть после конкретных ситуаций, вы чувствуете себя в этих отношениях? Давайте сейчас посмотрим, как Вселенная распорядится. Стоит ли вам продолжать двигаться с вашим партнером на одной волне, строить дальше отношения и прочный стабильный фундамент в этом секторе, или же стоит уйти, ведь эти отношения только разрушают вас, они не совершенствуют вас и забирают ресурс. До того, как мы сделаем 3 вопроса, до того, как мы разложим 3 карты и спросим у них 3 главных совета, мы с вами кинем камень. Сейчас я настроюсь на вашу энергию, тельцы, на энергию заземления, практичности, стабильности и уверенности и брошу камень. И в какой сектор он попадет, таков и будет ваш ответ. Напоминаю, что этот сектор отвечает за ответ «да, остаться». Этот сектор отвечает за ответ «нет, надо уйти». Давайте же посмотрим, какой ответ Вселенная приготовила для вас, тельцы. Я, наконец, открою глаза, и мы вместе внимательно посмотрим, как же именно ваш партнер влияет на вас в повседневной жизни. Дорогие тельцы, для вас сегодня ответ «уйти». Как бы это ни звучало неожиданно, а может быть и ожидаемо для вас, тельцы, время отношений, и вас в этих отношениях заканчивается вместе с тем, как заканчивается период Солнца во Льве. Но Солнце переходит в Деву, и это значит, что завершение этого цикла отношений переходит и в новый цикл для вас. Все не просто так. Давайте же посмотрим, какой страх удерживал вас в этой связи. Первая карта для вас. Какой страх удерживал вас в этой связи? Итак, второй вопрос. Где самый главный источник вашей силы? Где источник вашего комфорта прямо сейчас? Прямо сейчас, если вы уходите из этих отношений. И третий вопрос. Что Вселенная дарует вам взамен в завершении этих отношений, когда вы перестаете держаться за них и разжимаете руки? Итак, давайте смотреть. Первый вопрос. Напомню, какой страх удерживал вас, тельцы, в этой связи? Здесь тройка мечей. Очень интересная карта для вас, тельцы. Вы не склонны много думать и анализировать и витать в облаках, но тем не менее вы жили в долгой иллюзии о том, что в ваши отношения кто-то должен вмешаться. Вам все казалось, что есть третья сторона, которая влияет на вашего партнера. И самое главное, самый главный страх, который мог возникнуть в ваших отношениях и который терзал вас, это страх измены. Вы держались за вашего партнера, потому что вы хотели быть для вашего партнера главным человеком. Человеком, которому посвящено все время, все ресурсы и возможности. И все время боялись того, что кто-то вас сместит с пьедестала. Но это обоюдная должна быть сторона. Если вы этого боялись все время отношений, то насколько ваш партнер подпитывал ваш страх или наоборот его опровергал? И если вы жили постоянно в этой тревоге, значит, у вас не было никакой стабильности. Именно поэтому вы и задались вопросом, оставаться или уйти. Для вас, для тельцов, так была важна опора и основа, а вам ее не давали взамен, что единственным решением для вас стало уходить. И это, как показала судьба, правильный выбор. Посмотрите, здесь действительно разрушение. Третья сторона. На самом деле не было третьей стороны и никого не было, но мысли об этом, которые подпитываются со стороны партнера через намеренную ревность, намеренное создание собственной ценности для того, чтобы поддерживать эти отношения, разрушили их. И правильный выбор для вас – уйти из тех отношений, где вам не уделяют время, а цепляют вас за крючок ревности, зная, что для вас это важная тема. Так что, дорогие тельцы, решение уйти – это решение освободиться от этого груза надуманных ожиданий, надуманных событий, которые подпитываются со стороны вашей второй половинки. Но давайте посмотрим, где теперь ваш самый главный источник силы и комфорта. Откуда брать ресурс на эту стабильность? Король мечей. И снова не характерная для вас карта, но впервые, может быть, за все время вам стоит заземлиться и подумать. Подумать головой. Пока не думайте о том, как же вы будете жить, где вам жить, что вам есть. Это бытовые вопросы, которые в любом случае будут удостоены вашего внимания. Сейчас нужно проанализировать прошлый период и понять, в чем именно вы проявляли себя максимально ярко и чувствовали хорошо, в том числе и в момент ваших отношений. Подумайте, где вы принимали правильные решения, и они для вас откликались правильным ответом и правильным результатом. Это очень важно, тельцы, послушайте сейчас внимательно. Не уходите в дела, в действия, не убегайте от реальности. Вам не стоит сейчас снова заниматься рутинными обязанностями, уходить в работу, работать бесконечно с утра до вечера или пахать бесконечно в зале, лишь бы закрыть свою голову от тех мыслей, которые должны вас посетить после того, как вы уйдете. Ведь вы так часто посвящали свое время обдумыванию возможных вариантов измены вашего партнера или наличия третьей стороны. Посвятите теперь это же время себе. Дева и Солнце в Деве любят анализировать. Присоединитесь к этому знаку и после 23 августа найдите свой ресурс рациональным путем. Для вас это будет нечто необычное. Вы обнаружите себя в новом хобби, но это уже будет хобби в одиночку. Никакой зависимости от своего партнера, никакой тревожности. Благодаря этим переменам вы сможете познать себя еще глубже, узнать, что вы на самом деле любите, как происходит день, если вы его не торопите и не заполняете какими-то рутинными обязанностями. А как для вас проходит день, в котором есть место для вас? Это и есть ваш источник силы и комфорта. Место, где вы начнете уделять время себе и своим желаниям. Ну и давайте же посмотрим, что вам дарует Вселенная после того, как вы решите уйти и посвятить время себе. Двойка пентаклей. Вам Вселенная дарует ресурс на материальный выбор. Возможно, вы воспримете жизнь как игру и начнете на многое говорить «да», но вы сделаете это играючи. В вашей жизни появится элемент некой игры. Смотрите, вы начинаете меньше тревожиться. Вы принимаете волевое решение посвятить время себе, научиться быть в одиночестве, строить планы, в которых вы сами вершитель своей судьбы. И здесь появляется некий элемент игры, где вы будто бы играете с этим миром в «да» и «нет». Вы не просто идете и совершаете бездумные действия, вы принимаете решения так, что получаете удовольствие от любого исхода. Это для вас будет невероятным подарком от Вселенной, ведь вы не привыкли к нестабильности. Вам нужна четкая, плотная основа. Но двойка пентаклей – это основа в любом случае. Но только у вас теперь шире выбор, и вы делаете его гораздо веселее и приятнее. Так что, дорогие тельцы, сегодняшний ответ «нет» принесет вам новые перспективы. И на самом деле после разрушения вы обретете новую основу. Поэтому посвятите время себе и относитесь к этой жизни как к игре. Потому что для вас сейчас начинается период самопознания и развития, но уже в одиночку. Скорпионы, настало ваше время. Самый мистический знак. Для вас этот расклад – это буквально привычная сторона жизни. Вы всегда интересуетесь чем-то потусторонним. Вы слишком глубоко уходите в познание, что зачастую и сами можете обладать какими-то особыми способностями. И это проявляется в вашей повседневной жизни. Случайные люди, случайные обстоятельства, события, сны, в конце концов, и мистическое притягивание денег. Да, скорпионы, вы буквально магнит для денег. Но умеете ли вы управлять этим ресурсом? Хороший вопрос. Ведь если вы скорпион в плюсе и действуете из плюсового состояния, то тогда деньги появляются из ниоткуда. А если вы в минусе, то это ужасное подспорье для зависимостей и других деструктивных вещей. Но я надеюсь, скорпионы, что на сегодняшний день у вас все благополучно. И единственный вопрос, который волнует вас прямо сейчас, это стоит ли мне оставаться в текущих отношениях или уходить из них. Прежде чем перейти к этому вопросу, давайте проанализируем текущий период. Что в текущем периоде будет происходить? Ведь напомню, что Луна сменяется, Солнце переходит из знака Льва в знак Девы. Для вас этот период ознаменуется, к сожалению, не так ярко, как для других знаков. Если в Солнце во Льве в этом пике вы чувствовали прилив энергии и готовы были действовать, исходя из своей энергии, резко, дерзко, как вы это привыкли делать, иногда даже немного по не по правилам, скажем так, то сейчас наступает период порядка. А для вас, дорогие скорпионы, этот порядок мучителен. Вы буквально находитесь не в своей тарелке, вам хочется динамики, выход за рамки, все делать без правил и делать по-своему. Да, таков будет период Солнца в Деве, но как же его все-таки сбалансировать? Что нужно сделать для того, чтобы ваш период Солнца в Деве стал максимально полезным для вас? Ведь даже самые ключевые ограничения могут иногда сыграть на пользу. И сейчас мы переходим с вами в точку. Как ваши отношения повлияют на ваш спад энергии? Поддержат ли они вас или затопчут в конец в землю? Что для вас сейчас будет важно? Уйти или остаться? Что будет происходить? Перед тем, как выложить карты, я закрою глаза, брошу камень, и если он попадет на эту сторону, здесь ответ – да, надо остаться. Если камень попадет на эту сторону, ответ будет «нет, уйти». Сохранить отношения и продолжать, ведь они поддерживают вас в данный непростой период. Или уйти, ведь эти отношения еще больше вас разрушают до основания. Итак, скорпионы, я настраиваюсь на вашу энергию, энергию мистицизма, энергию необъяснимого, неопознанного. Давайте посмотрим, какой же ответ будет для вас максимально верным. Спросим это у Вселенной. Итак, я уже настроилась на вашу энергию. Сейчас я брошу камень, и мы узнаем ответ. Да, скорпионы, у вас действительно мистическая энергия. Сейчас мы зададим этот вопрос Вселенной еще раз и получим ответ. Итак, какое самое главное решение для вас, для самых мистических знаков? Итак, я сейчас открою глаза, и мы посмотрим ответ. Скорпионы, для вас самое главное и важное решение – остаться в этих отношениях. Хотя я уверена, сидя по ту сторону экрана, вы очень сопротивлялись. Вы не хотели, может быть, услышать этот ответ, который вам неприятен, но реальность и правда такова, что ей стоит сейчас посмотреть в лицо. Эти отношения поддержат вас и дадут вам развитие в дальнейшем. Но в чем? Давайте посмотрим. Если вы остаетесь в этих отношениях, давайте посмотрим 3 карты, 3 ответа на вопросы. И первым вопросом будет, что является глубинным, можно даже сказать, мистическим смыслом ваших текущих отношений. Второй вопрос. Как наладить взаимодействие со своим партнером, чтобы он только умножался и не заставлял думать вас, что что-то идет не так? Третий вопрос. Что ждет вас, пока вы не видите в материальном мире, но на тонком плане это уже в пути и скоро материализуется? Итак, давайте смотреть. Давайте посмотрим первую карту. В чем заключается глубинный смысл, духовный смысл ваших отношений? 7 жезлов. Вы встретились именно в тот момент, когда оба были на нуле. Вы так разочаровались в этом мире и думали, что больше не способны ни на любовь, ни на партнерство. И вот в таком состоянии вы встретили друг друга, и это самый глубинный, истинный смысл ваших отношений. Это ваша общая миссия, ваша общая задача. Общая задача – выйти из нулевого состояния в максимально ресурсное. Что это может значить? Какой же духовный путь у этой пары? А духовный путь – это совместное прохождение испытаний, совместное движение через преграды. Да, легкость не ваш конек, но для скорпионов идти легким путем значит не развиваться. Ваше развитие в данном случае через совместное прохождение испытаний для пары. И даже тот вопрос, которым вы задавались прямо сейчас, это тоже испытание, проверка на прочность, на вашу духовную и ментальную стойкость, на готовность перерасти себя прежнего. И это испытание даст вам невероятную духовную опору для вашего будущего. Вы буквально сгорели дотла в самом начале, и сейчас на пепелище строите новый прекрасный замок. И это ваше совместное духовное будущее, и это ваш общий духовный смысл. Давайте теперь посмотрим, как наладить взаимодействие, чтобы ресурс только приумножался. Двойка чаш. Уважаемые скорпионы, если вы забыли, что такое праздник, пора вспомнить об этом прямо сейчас. Вам не хватает легкости в отношениях. Когда вы встречаетесь, ходите на свидания, путешествуйте вместе, проводите ночь так, будто только что познакомились. Скорпионы, напомню, для вас невероятно важна сексуальная перчинка в ваших отношениях. Да, вы не ослышались. Скорее всего, вы забыли о том, как вдохновляться партнером и как впечатлять своего партнера. Как будто бы вы только на первом свидании и все хотите предоставить свои самые лучшие стороны, соблазнить и провести совместную ночь впервые. Вам нужно вернуться в это же состояние, состояние праздника, состояние ощущения тотального удовлетворения и сексуальности в ваших отношениях. Это взаимодействие поможет достать тот ресурс, который у вас уже есть, и как паре приумножить его до невероятных масштабов. Все в вашей жизни запустится x3, если вы вдохнете новую жизнь в свои отношения. Да, рутина важна, и совместный быт – это важная часть отношений. Но не забывайте про то, что вам нужно прямо сейчас начать как будто бы с нуля, как будто вы только познакомились и начинаете свой путь. Ощущение праздника, невероятных свиданий, отношений только что познакомившихся людей и понравившихся друг другу. И третье, что ждет вас в ближайшем будущем, но вы этого пока не видите в материальном мире, но на тонком плане это уже есть. Король Пентаклей, уважаемые скорпионы, здесь карты абсолютно солидарны с тем, что я уже сказала в самом начале. Вот ваше финансовое благополучие. Как только вы решите все в своих отношениях, зарядите себя и своего партнера невероятным праздником сексуальной энергии. Вспомните, почему вы вместе, вспомните, что является вашей духовной основой. Вы сразу же увидите, как к вам станут приходить деньги оттуда, откуда вы и не ожидали. Да, это ваша основная задача в этом мире. Вы буквально притягиваете деньги из ничего. Но когда вы тратите много ресурса на решение вопросов, совершенно не касающихся вас или вашей жизни, и вы начинаете их придумывать в голове, то ваше финансовое состояние снижается. Но теперь, я уверена, вы проделаете эту работу над собой вместе со своим партнером. Еще раз услышьте сейчас важные тезисы, скорпионы. Не бегите, пока не переключайте, а досмотрите ваш блог до конца. Итак, семерка жезлов означает, что вы должны вспомнить, что ваша духовная основа – это то, что вы вместе развиваетесь и проходите препятствия совместно. И это дает вам общий духовный план. Второе. Не забывайте вносить праздник и ощущение яркости, сексуальности и легкости в ваши отношения, как будто вы знакомитесь заново и заново ходите на свидания. И все это вместе принесет вам деньги. Это уже витает в вашем поле, но вы пока еще не увидели результата. А увидите тогда, когда сделаете еще одно усилие, еще один шаг навстречу к вашим отношениям и к вашему финансовому благополучию. Все, ваши финансы уже рядом. Просто помните об этом. И погружаясь в свою мистическую тайну, скорпионы, не забывайте, что рядом есть партнер, который жаждет вашего внимания всецело. Так дайте ему, дайте по-новому. И тогда ваша стабилизация финансового ресурса станет невероятно большой. Новые источники, новые возможности благодаря проделанной вами работе в ваших отношениях. Sagittarius, your time has finally come. You are incredible adventurers. You don't build your castle just to lock yourself inside it forever. You build your castle in order to expand your horizons. So your metaphorical castle isn't just in one place. You are always seeking something new, something bright and truly unusual, pushing far beyond the limits of what is considered possible. As natural explorers, this curiosity is your greatest strength, but sometimes you can be in a bit of a rush. Sometimes you can be restless and intolerant, especially when it comes to other people's flaws or shortcomings. Yes, Sagittarius, you often think you know absolutely everything about this vast, complicated world, and you are rarely afraid to show it. Of course, because you love to learn and explore new things yourself. You literally know some random fact that nobody else knows. Why do you need it? It's unclear. But either way, this versatility always drives you, and so you're ready to expand your horizons, to step into the new, to learn and to live this life 1000%. And even if you sometimes find yourself rushing into things and making rather rash decisions, still, Sagittarius, your incredible zest for life has a unique way of lifting spirits. It truly energizes everyone around you, turning even the most mundane moments into something far more exciting. And soon, when the sun moves from Leo into Virgo, you might slow down a bit. Don't worry, Sagittarius, it'll be harmless for you, but you'll definitely feel this slowdown, like the internet speed dropped a bit and reality is just taking a long time to load. If in Leo, a fire sign close to you, the sun shone brightly for you and you solved your problems very sharply, learned new things, started new things, and were literally a leader of change, then after the sun moves into Virgo, you start to slow down. Now, everything you worked on at the beginning of August, you'll be putting in order at the end. Oh, how you dislike this, dear Sagittarius. But nevertheless, this will be a wonderful time for you to assess your resources and opportunities. No one is forcing you to stop, but be sure to listen to the advice so that this slowdown is as beneficial for you as possible. Literally, as if it were a training, where you are exploring a new branch, and yourself within it. And what about your relationships, Sagittarius? How do you feel in these relationships? Perhaps you lack freedom, or you are being restricted on purpose because they see your charisma. Or maybe it is just an illusion of a lack of freedom, and you are limiting yourself while your partner is trying to do everything within their power and strength. What is the most important question for you right now in your relationship? Maybe, what will happen next? And is it worth the effort, Sagittarius? I'm sure you have 1,000 such questions in your head. Not because it might be some kind of problem, but because you want to know everything about everything. Let's focus on one thing now, on one single direction. Now, before laying out the cards, I will throw a stone, and if it lands on the stay sector, then we will look at 3 cards and the 3 most important questions of your relationship. If it lands on the leave side, then, Sagittarius, it is time to decide something in this relationship once and for all. So, I will now tune into your energy, Sagittarius, and throw this stone. The energy of freedom, the energy of resource, the energy of igniting those around you, and the ability to lead. So let's see what the most important decision for your relationship will be. Now I will open my eyes and we will find out the universe's answer. Sagittarius, there is a very clear answer for you. Of course it is to stay. Yes, we will now look at the 3 main questions. And if you are thinking now, Sagittarius, No way, how can that be? I have already accepted everything and thought it through and decided. Well, wait, do not rush. Let's take a look. First question, what common goal unites you and your partner? Second question, how to breathe a new period of adventure into your couple, which is important to you. And the third question, Sagittarius, large-scale and joint results this autumn. After all, you will need to move towards your goals together for a greater impact in the end. So let's see what common goal and idea unites you with your significant other. So here we have the Chariot. Of course, the common goal is movement. It's not standing still, not being grounded, not overthinking things. It's moving together. Sagittarius, and here's the main thing. I told you before that you love doing things very fast, but your partner might have a different pace. Look at it differently. You're moving toward the same thing, growth, and building a future together. You just have different paces, but nevertheless, you are moving. It doesn't mean you have to compromise, and it certainly doesn't mean you have to adapt yourself to the current reality. It just means that now you know for absolutely sure that you're moving in the same direction, just at different speeds. But the goal is one, to build a beautiful, better future together. A place where there is plenty of room for both of you, and you will surely reach it, provided you both continue to respect each other's pace. The Chariot is also about change. For you, the most important thing is the journey together. Don't even think about the final goal, but think about how happy and joyful you'll spend this time on a lifelong journey together. Now, how to breathe the spirit of adventure into your relationship so that your path is colorful and interesting. Four of Cups. The Four of Cups says that now the reins of this chariot should be handed over to your partner. You just need to simply say, I want adventure. Sagittarius, rest assured, you will be heard. You will most definitely be heard. And in response, the universe will bring those vibrant, long-forgotten adventures back into your life, the ones you have missed so dearly for such a very long time. Ask your partner to breathe a spark of adventure. But if you do it all yourself, you'll burn out emotionally very badly. When you do everything yourself and don't give your partner a chance to show up, it drains most of your resources and you're left empty. And that's exactly why you start questioning, do I even need to continue this relationship? Of course, that can happen if you endlessly give yourself to one person. Take a rest. The slowdown starting August 23rd will give you an incredible chance to see reality from a new perspective. Look at your partner differently, because they are truly ready to create the adventure of a lifetime for you. Don't burn yourself out and don't do everything for the other person. And of course, the third card is large-scale joint results this autumn. The Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords says that you've invested so much emotionally that it's now time for a rest. And while the Nine of Swords is about being very tired, it's also the start of a new stage where you need to focus on two things. Focus together on your physical health. Go with your partner, sign up for some fitness or maybe a massage so that you can take care of your health as a couple. Maybe it'll be a doctor, someone who treats bones or perhaps other organs that have been bothering you for a long time. But be sure to do it together. Let this also become an adventure for you. The second thing to pay attention to is rest. Sagittarius, you love to travel. So don't just create a metaphorical journey by telling your partner, but go on a real trip. Let it be 3 or 5 days, but you spend them together, away from the whole world. And then, if you truly focus on your health and prioritize some much-needed joint rest together, it will breathe not only a vibrant new life into your couple, but also usher in a wonderful new period of harmony. After this, the alignment of this positive energy will naturally bring you both greater financial well-being and significant success in your professional lives as well. Because the most important thing is to restore your resource, and to your internal resource, Sagittarius, other resources will wonderfully follow. So, Sagittarius, listen now and remember. Remember the most important thing. It's vital for you to stay in this carriage right now. Don't leave. You're moving in the same direction, just at different paces. But leaving now is an illusion. Because you've started giving too much and completely forgot that it takes two to be in a relationship. You shouldn't carry everything on your own shoulders. Give your partner a chance to step up, and then you'll see how easy it actually is to be in this relationship. And your partner is not to blame for anything. Also, Sagittarius, pay attention to your health. I'll say it again, this is very important. Resolve health issues, resolve rest issues together with your partner. Better yet, ask them to organize these activities so you don't have to carry it all yourself. And then, after restoring your energy, you'll enter a stage where all financial work and partnership opportunities are open to you. Sagittarius, don't forget yourself. Don't forget that even as a leader, you can give your partner the chance to shine. It doesn't mean they will overshadow you. It doesn't mean they will become the leader. It means it's time to start accepting help. Listen, Sagittarius, to a very important thing. It's time to start accepting help. And this is not the same as being removed from your leadership pedestal. Capricorns, your time has come. Now we will look into the depths of your soul, or as you would say yourselves, into the depths of your mind. That's right, you'd say that because for you, intellectual work, thoughts, decisions made with your head, and the rational side of life are what matter most. But nevertheless, Capricorns, if you've come to this video now, it means there's a question you're ready to explore with a message from the universe. Let's talk a little bit about you, Capricorns. You are very intellectually savvy. You are also brilliant time managers. You are excellent at managing your time and resources and building empires and companies. You were literally born to be leaders. But there's an important nuance here. If you choose to utilize your personal resources in a truly positive and constructive manner, then you are far more likely to build truly large, sustainable corporations, establish robust management systems within your organizations, and manage your capital perfectly. However, if you find yourself living your daily life in a consistently negative state of mind, then all of these significant achievements might unfortunately come with great difficulty. But that's a separate story for another video. And today, let's talk about what your relationships are like, dear Capricorns. What is forcing you to shrink down to a minimum right now? Let me remind you that you really dislike it when you show your emotions. You like to conflict, but for you, conflict must be constructive and to the point. And of course, when you are focused on conflict, on a lack of emotions, and on clear rational decisions, finding a soulmate and moving through life with them can be quite difficult. For you, work will always come first. Such is the path of the Capricorn. But still, if you are in a relationship now, you need to understand if your partner is ready to share this idea with you, that first we achieve resources, act without emotion, and only after consuming the result do we enter relationship mode. Perhaps this will continue to accompany your relationship. But does your partner know about this? And if they do, how do they feel about it? And the most important question, are you satisfied with what is happening in the relationship now? Are you ready to continue acting and reaching new heights together with your partner? Will you want to dive into these mystical secrets of human emotions? After all, for you, this is not a very clear sphere. Let's take a look. Today, I will cast a stone for you. Whichever side it lands on, that will be the true answer for your relationship today. Should you stay or leave this relationship? This is a very pressing question for you right now, because uncertainty and an unclear situation regarding whether to continue can throw you off your work track. Let me remind you that now is the period when the Sun moves from Leo to Virgo, and this will be your prime. You will be at your peak. And if before disorder oppressed you now on August 23rd, you will enter your peak resource state. You'll be able to achieve more, earn more, and build more of a system. Does your partner share your plans, and are you ready to go through this peak together with them? Let's see. Now I will tune into your energy, dear Capricorns, and we will see if your relationship diminishes your personality scale, or if it, on the contrary, charges you for achievement. So let's throw the stone. Now I'll open my eyes and we'll find out the answer. My dear Capricorns, despite all of your coldness and rationality, for you the answer is yes. Your significant other can indeed become for you, not only this August, but basically until the end of the year, a vital support. Your drive for achievement might not be realized if you are without the support of your significant other. And since the answer is yes, let's look at the three main questions. We'll find out the three main answers. So the first question, the real capital of your relationship, emotional and spiritual. Yes, an unidentified topic for you. What kind of foundation of spirituality and emotionality is there in your relationship? Second question, how to stop being the boss in the couple and calmly become a partner. Third question, specific material and personal fruits of the union by autumn, because you're staying in this relationship, which means it will bring you incredible fruits. Let's take a look. So, 3 cards, 3 answers. So, the first card is the real capital in your relationship on a spiritual level. Where else can you draw energy from? An incredible card. Capricorns, well, you are incredibly lucky. You got the Sun. It's very symbolic because today we're talking a lot about the Sun moving into Virgo. Before this, I said that your peak and prime will be after August 23rd. Look, you really are shining brightly, literally like the sun. You exude this energy, the energy of resourcefulness, of reality in the here and now, and of course, of wealth and prosperity. This is what is your most important spiritual capital in this couple. The question that might have faced you before, is it worth continuing, might not have even arisen if you had sufficiently valued your partner's contribution. Imagine that you are a manager and your significant other is an employee who tries in every way, invest themselves, but their efforts go unnoticed. And if you remove this employee, then your company could suffer serious damage. It is the same here, dear Capricorns. Try to look at your significant other from a different angle. Appreciate their actual actions. Your partner, knowing how emotionally deaf you can be, provides a wonderful safety net of spirituality and emotion, and you shine like the sun, ready to reach new heights. Value this in your partnership. Value this spiritual capital and your partner's contribution, and then your own energy and resources will shine brighter than the sun itself. Now let's look at another card. How to finally stop being the boss in this relationship and become a partner. Yes, Capricorns, I understand that you want to control this relationship. You want them to literally report an account to you. But still, a relationship is not a job, and you get the Three of Swords. Capricorns, you need to stop thinking for your partner. You need to stop thinking about what the outside world will say. It's time to think for yourself. Analyze your own actions. What have you done in this relationship? You can even calculate and discuss with your partner exactly how you want to share the contribution to your joint work on the relationship. But consider your partner's needs. Because your partner, as I said before, charges you like the brightest sun, yet you start thinking for them and for those around you for some reason. Think about it, Capricorns. You're spending an incredible amount of energy to maintain an enterprise that isn't an enterprise, but a free structure. And in it, you're not the boss, you're just a partner, a participant, a co-creator. Create together with your partner and stop thinking for everyone. And of course, the third question, the specific material and personal fruits of your union. And here we have the Hanged Man. There's some material question, either a major purchase of a home or a car that just couldn't be resolved until now. But don't worry, this pending issue can improve now if you work on your relationship together as a couple. And by this autumn, if you learn to be in partnership and value your significant other's contribution, you'll finally be able to resolve the issues you've long postponed. And these matters are related to finances and major acquisitions. And first and foremost for you, Capricorns, this will be a personal achievement. After all, you've managed to build your personal plan so that there's room in it for both you and your partner. Dear Capricorns, I understand that you really love structure, that you want everything to be according to plan, in its place. You don't like situations left hanging in the air. You don't like it when people start to overshadow you, and even more so, to control you. But I want to assure you that in your relationship, this will never be the case. You are already the most important person to your partner, and your partner puts you on a pedestal, lighting you up and making you the sun for everyone. Your partner is ready to negotiate and is capable of thinking independently. You don't need to second guess and carry everything solely on your own shoulders. Give your partner some space in the relationship. And of course, having made these efforts, having built your clear step-by-step plan, this very autumn, that very issue that has been hanging in the air for a long time, which could not be resolved, will finally be settled, Capricorns. And you could explain it with rational things like the deal fell through or there wasn't enough money. But no, you are just slowing down your own path, Capricorns. And now the time has come to remove those sticks from your wheels on the path to your very own dream. There's very little left and your issue will be resolved. Capricorns, hear the most important advice now. Become a partner in this relationship and see your partner's support, and then your financial well-being and the well-being of your work or your business will also be resolved. Listen to your significant other. Aries, for you, the entire month of August, and especially as we reach its final days, will burn incredibly bright with fire. It is the fire of your boundless energy, your undeniable charisma, and your sheer brilliance, all coming together to make this a truly unforgettable time for you. You are going to shine brighter than ever before. By your very nature, you Aries are fire signs. And when the sun was in Leo, this fiery element really took hold of you on an incredibly massive scale. It truly amplified your natural energy, making your presence feel much more vibrant and dynamic than usual. You were able to build new plans and bring them to life. You were pushing forward like never before. You stood your ground, did what you wanted right then and there, and followed your dream. And all through August, the power of the Leo sun favored you. But now the time is shifting into Virgo. After August 23rd, all of the dedicated energy and hard work you have been pouring into achieving your long-term goals will finally start to align and fall into place, creating the momentum you have been waiting for. Now, it certainly doesn't look like pure chaos anymore, and it definitely won't be some kind of rigid, planned event either. But at the very same time, you will find that your fiery power is becoming much more structured, and it is being distributed quite evenly throughout the entire process, just as it should be. As for relationships, Aries, the most important thing for you is that your significant other doesn't overshadow your bright, charismatic image. Aries, you are naturally accustomed to being bold leaders in everything you do. Whether it is in your business, your personal affairs, or even within the family dynamic and your closest relationships, you always take charge. Your word must always be final because you truly possess enough inner energy to lead literally every single member of your family or your work team toward a successful result. And you are always ready to take full responsibility for them, no matter what challenges may arise along the way. And you are capable of that. But now, let's ask ourselves, is that what's happening in your relationships? How does your partner acknowledge your leadership? And tell me, have you actually noticed that back in the previous season, you were able to do this kind of thing much more easily than you seem to be able to right now? It is quite a significant difference, isn't it? Or perhaps you have inadvertently overshadowed your partner to such a degree that they have receded into the background of your shared life. Now, instead of experiencing warm, sincere feelings of connection, they have begun to fear you. They might envy your brilliance and your sense of responsibility, or perhaps they have simply resigned themselves to serving as nothing more than a silent shadow in your wake. Is it worth continuing this kind of relationship, Aries? Throughout the fiery Leo season, you've been asking yourself, where do I go from here, and should I stay with this person? Are we truly complementing each other rather than being the exception? What lies ahead? And so, I truly believe that the single best decision you could possibly make for yourself right now is to sit back and watch this video in its entirety. It is designed to help you find out exactly what you need to prepare for in the coming days, how your relationship is likely to evolve over time, and ultimately, whether or not it is truly worth staying in it for the long haul. Perhaps it is just a temporary, fleeting August phase, or maybe it is actually a clear and undeniable sign of what you really need to notice right now. It is important to pay attention to this so that you do not keep walking down the same repetitive path with this person. All these questions are filling your head and keeping you from making a decision, Aries, and that's just not like you. You're very prone to impulsiveness, and that's exactly why you need clarity and a definite answer, yes or no. That's why at this table today, you'll find out, yes, stay or no, leave this relationship. Let's perform this ritual now and see. It won't be me telling you, or even the cards. First, we'll do a toss. I am going to show you exactly how fate decides your answer for you. So right now, we are going to ask the big question that is on everyone's mind. Are you going to leave or are you going to stay? And now I'm tuning into your energy, into your flow. Aries, I can already feel an incredibly bright, charismatic energy, an immediate impulse to act. Let's choose a stone. And let's do the toss. And now I'll open my eyes and we'll find out. And the answer is to stay. Aries, you saw it for yourselves. The stone fell on this side. This is the stay sector, the yes sector. The stone says the fire in your relationship is still alive. Yes, it might have become a bit small, not what it used to be, but nevertheless, it's worth staying, and then everything will work out. Well, let's take a closer look. Where's the fire in your relationship? What should we do about it? Now we'll ask the cards. What is alive and real in your relationship? This will be card number 1. Second question, what do we need to demand from our partner right now? And this will help the flame of your relationship to be restored. And third, how your relationship with your partner will change by the beginning of September. So let's take a closer look at this together. I want to ask you, what specific, alive, and real things do you think are going to shift or change in your relationship right now? What else is there in it? Where is this fire? Let's see. And the Tower. Yes, the Tower card comes up. It's a rebirth once again. Just like for Pisces, you're not having the easiest time right now. It's a period of restructuring. It's a period of bringing your foundation, your building, down to absolute zero, when everything that was before and everything that worked before no longer works that way. Now you need to build something new. Dear Aries, your Leo period is ending, and that means that very soon a certain stage in your relationship will end. But that doesn't mean the relationship will end completely. Not at all. If you have only recently started a new relationship, this is a very favorable card for you. It means that the initial period, when you were deeply in love, felt incredible passion, and wanted to see each other literally every single day, is now simply coming to a natural end for you. You are moving into a new phase. It's time to get to know each other in everyday matters. For some of you, this will mean that you'll either move in with your significant other or start living together in a certain way or even move together. In any case, the Tower means a change in your entire way of life. Not like it was before, but something new. You'll be able to get to know your partner, look at them from a different angle, and that's also good. So the answer stay means that you need to stay in the here and now, and this is just a certain stage. You might not like something, you might have doubts, but that's not a no. It's an okay answer. Let's see what happens next. Now, for those Aries who have been in a relationship for a long time, this is a reason to rethink your relationship's format. Maybe there was something that didn't quite suit you about your partner or your relationship. And the Tower means you need to remove what you no longer need in these interactions and what new things you want to bring in. Let's see what you need to demand from your partner right now. Let's take a look at the card. The King of Wands is a card of no compromises. It's a card of energy. Now you need to demand an energetic contribution from your partner, not just emotional or real practical matters. Yes, he can solve all that, but when was the last time he gave you energy? If your significant other spends all day at work, or maybe at the computer, on the phone, or even with a book and doesn't give you time, it's exhaustion for him too. You are fiery and charismatic by nature, and when you don't get attention, you start to fade, grow dim, and your charisma fades too. And your partner, if you got the stay sector, he's ready to give this energy. See, he comes up as the King of Wands. He just forgot how to do it. And you need to demand an exchange of energy from your partner. Don't argue or fight, just talk to him about your basic needs. And of course, how the relationship will change by the end of this summer, by the beginning of autumn. The Hanged Man. Yes, indeed, it's a card of uncertainty, and by the end of summer, in early September, everything might reach a point where each of you asks what actions should be taken next. The Hanged Man is a card of a turning point where you're still hanging, not making a decision. But this card also means that in this suspension, you will actually be able to attune to each other. It's very much like when you're walking through the woods and you need to get home, but on the way you stumble upon a clearing. You find a beautiful meadow and you have a choice. Forget it and go home, or stay for a few minutes and enjoy what is happening around you. Observe this meadow, the birds singing. The Hanged Man in this spread means exactly that. After the actions that will happen to you, after the turning point in your relationship, when you will literally build a new interaction with your partner from scratch, after your conversation with your significant other, you, dear Aries, stay in this state, literally hang in there without making any decisions. And you will simply begin to enjoy your real living relationship. Yes, with everyday problems, maybe with quarrels and scandals, but nevertheless, by living through this state, you will be able to enter this autumn already renewed. Literally, you will even make most of the effort, but you will do it for yourself. You have everything that matters most, dear Aries, your incredible charisma, your energetic value, and you will be able to manage this process. Do something good for yourself, Aries. Listen carefully now. Do good first and foremost for yourself. Walk this path. Fate itself has told you that you need to stay. So there is still something here to flare up. Talk to your partner, build with them from scratch, as if you just met and are redefining the vector of your relationship. And stay in this state. Observe, enjoy, take pleasure in the time that is happening for you. These, Aries, are the recommendations for you from the cards. Be at the peak of your possibilities, slow down, and enjoy this state. Libra, your time has finally come. I know that you deeply enjoy weighing every single option and taking your time to make decisions. But for you, the most important thing is always to be in perfect harmony and balance. For you, the recent transit of the Sun in Leo was an incredibly uncertain and challenging side of your life. You just couldn't seem to level your scales, find your center, and finally stand firmly in the middle where you belong. It has been a long journey, but now you can breathe easier. Because only when you come into balance yourself are you ready to move forward. You are ready to make strong-willed decisions and take, at first glance, rash actions. But for you, of course, they had already been determined internally. And even if from the outside it may seem that you are indecisive and constantly choosing, in reality you are simply weighing all the pros and cons. And this month, as the Sun gracefully moves from the fiery sign of Leo into the grounded energy of Virgo. When Virgo, the celestial ruler of order and precision, finally takes the crown, this unstable time officially ends for you. And then, after August 23rd, a wonderful new period of profound stability, steady progress, and carefully balanced decisions begins to unfold in your life. And well, in general, the ability to make decisions. If in the time leading up to this moment, it felt as though you simply could not make up your mind, and you found yourself constantly blaming your own judgment for failing to uncover the right path or the door to your solution, even when you had carefully weighed every single option and felt entirely sure of your choice, yet somehow something vital was still missing from the equation, then please know that after August 23rd, this exhausting cycle of deep uncertainty and overwhelming chaos that has been clouding your vision will finally, mercifully come to an end, leaving you with the clarity you have been searching for. The period of the Sun in Virgo will be as favorable as possible. What have you already decided? Think about it. Perhaps it was a major purchase, or maybe you wanted to change your place of residence or job before, but just couldn't find the right arguments. That's it. Breathe out, Libra. It will be much easier to choose now. This is all about daily life, finances, and work. But what is happening in your relationships? As I said before, for you, Libra, not only the choice you made is important, but harmony is important too. But is there true harmony now in the relationships that you have? Is it really so? Libra, this is also a decision for you. But today, you don't have to worry or overanalyze, because today the universe will give you answers to all your questions. I will now throw a stone with my eyes closed, and fate will make its choice. And the most important question, should you stay or should you go? Do your current relationships support your inner harmony? Or do they pull the rug out from under you, making you lose your balance? So how do you make the right choice? Before I lay out the cards, we will send this request to the universe. If the stone happens to fall on this side, it will clearly mean yes, and you should choose to stay here to find your harmony. But if the stone falls on this other side, it will mean it is finally time for you to leave, because there will be no balance left for you here anymore, and it is time to move on. Now I will tune into your energy of balance, my dear Libras, and throw the stone. Where it lands, I don't know yet myself. Everything is in the hands of the universe. So Libras, I'm tuning into your energy. To leave or to stay or to leave. For you, more than for any other sign, this choice will be very important and fateful. Now I will open my eyes and we will see the result. Libras, today the answer for you is a firm no. The relationship you are currently in is really pulling the rug out from under you, leaving you feeling completely drained and keeping you in a constant state of emotional imbalance. Because of this, you simply won't be able to find the peace or the harmony that you are looking for. And honestly, you won't find that harmony in this relationship at all. Let's not just take my word for it. We'll look at 3 answers. 3 answers to different questions. Now we'll ask the cards why not and what awaits us around the corner, especially after the period of August 23rd, when a period of stability and calm will begin for you personally. So the first question, Libras, lovers of compromise, let's ask the cards. Почему же компромиссы именно в этих отношениях оказались такими разрушительными? Давайте попробуем разобраться. Второй вопрос. Как вернуть изящество и легкость в ваше состояние? Как возвратить любовь к себе? И третий вопрос. Какой гармоничный и достойный союз ждет вас впереди? Ну что, весы, готовы приоткрыть завесу тайны? Давайте еще раз. Почему компромиссы именно в этих отношениях были разрушительными для вас? 8 пентаклей. 8 пентаклей – это бесконечный цикл дисбаланса, дорогие весы. Вы старались идти на компромисс даже там, где были правы и где правда была на вашей стороне. Вы старались задвигать свои собственные желания, потребности на второй план, и именно поэтому у вас уходило много ресурса. Вы просто пошли не той дорогой. Вы могли идти гораздо более светлым и чистым путем, но выбрали двигаться путем задвигания желаний на второй план. Вы решили, что договариваться именно в этих отношениях было лучшим решением, но попали в бесконечный цикл повторяющихся событий, где вы так и не смогли получить взамен энергию. А для вас это, весы, очень важно. Для вас было важно получать в ответ, но вы столько дали ресурса в эти отношения, в том числе и через компромиссы, что опустошили себя и создали почву для партнера, где только его потребности на первом месте. Именно поэтому компромиссы не сработали в этих отношениях. Бесконечный цикл, который не имеет опоры и уж тем более не может привести к балансу. Давайте же посмотрим второй вопрос. Как вернуть изящество, легкость и любовь к себе, дорогие весы, после завершения этих отношений? Король жезлов. Король жезлов. Вы, весы, давно похоронили в себе того самого авантюриста, того человека, который буквально источает из себя энергию яркости, радости, стремления. Вы решили, что все это не для вас. Почему? Потому что ваш партнер убедил вас в этом. А может быть, потому что вы перестали уделять внимание своим потребностям. И то, и другое. Вы забыли, кто вы есть на самом деле. И сейчас наступает время, когда вы сможете заново познакомиться с собой. Это не время строить какие-то отношения с другим новым партнером. Это время построить свои отношения с самим собой. Весы, вы давно уже хотели гармонии, и вы хотели получать от мира то же самое. Сейчас наступает время, когда у вас есть возможность обмениваться энергией с миром. И чтобы вернуть любовь, уважение к себе, самого себя к себе, вам пора эту энергию, которая генерируется у вас внутри, распределить на другие сферы своей жизни, финансы, друзья, хобби. Как давно вы занимались действительно тем, что вам нравится? Скорее всего, это было давно. Сейчас уделите внимание тому, что вы хотите. Вот, например, вы хотели сегодня почитать книгу и никуда не идти или посмотреть любимый сериал. Действуйте. Действуйте не до разрушения, а действуйте до чувства насыщения, чтобы вы могли почувствовать эту полную энергию. А затем, когда вы наполняетесь, отдавайте эту энергию в мир. И завершив эти отношения, в которых вы ходили бы по бесконечному циклу, где отдаете и не получаете взамен, сейчас, наполняясь самостоятельно и отдавая в мир, мир поделится с вами и своей энергией, и вы сможете любить себя так же, как и раньше. Ну и третий вопрос. Какой гармоничный и достойный союз ждет вас в будущем? И здесь император. Уважаемые весы, в скором времени, не меньше, чем через полгода, вы сможете встретить человека, который станет для вас домом. Буквально вы можете прийти и чувствовать себя в своей тарелке рядом с человеком, который вас понимает, который принимает вашу, казалось бы, нерешительность, а на самом деле долгое принятие решений. И с этим человеком вы будете представлять, что находитесь в том самом месте, где вас принимают, где вам комфортно и уютно. Но в то же время это будут не просто слова, не просто жесты, действия, это будут настоящие прочные опоры и защита в том числе. Тот человек, которого вы встретите, никогда не даст вас в обиду и сам никогда не начнет нападать первым. Это будет гармоничный союз, именно та гармония, которая нужна вам уже сейчас. Но прежде, дорогие весы, чтобы восстановить чашу баланса, вам нужно зарядиться и наполниться в полную батарею энергии, научиться обмениваться с этим миром равноценно, а не только отдавать и идти на компромиссы. Весы все в ваших руках. Весь мир у ваших ног тогда, когда вы находитесь в балансе. И теперь никаких компромиссов, только гармония и взаимообмен. И тогда в вашу жизнь придет человек, который сможет сделать из вас настоящего короля управления этой жизнью. Вы сможете подняться так высоко на пьедестал и сиять ярко. Да, конечно же, здесь нужны будут договоренности, но это тоже прочная опора и основа для вас, весы. Поэтому, следуя тому, о чем мы сейчас с вами проговорили, весы, для вас сегодня был ответ «нет». И те отношения, в которых вы находитесь, они вас разрушают. И если вы примете решение уйти, то вы сможете построить для себя буквально новую реальность, где вы наполнены сами и со стороны вам тоже отдают энергию. Следуйте внутреннему порыву и принимайте решения в сторону себя. Раки, настал ваш период. Сегодня этот прогноз и для вас тоже. Это ваше время. Что мы о вас знаем, дорогие раки? Вы невероятно мягкие, доверчивые и очень глубокие, особенно глубокие в своих переживаниях. Вам важно, чтобы люди, которые окружают вас, были действительно искренними. Но если вдруг человек не отвечает вам уровнем доверия, которые вы от них требуете, то вы выбираете стратегию либо уходить совсем в себя и закрываться от людей, либо спасать людей. Но вот второе случается лишь в те моменты, когда вы по-настоящему искренне любите человека. И тогда вы, конечно же, готовы играть в этого спасателя практически бесконечно, не требуя ничего взамен. Почему так происходит? Благодаря своей невероятной глубине эмоционального потока и благодаря тому, что вы себя позиционируете как мягкого и открытого человека, вы хотите добра не только себе, но и другим людям. Иногда это добро не вознаграждается ничем в ответ, и ваше страдание, ваш минус энергии играет с вами злую шутку. Вы чувствуете себя плохо. Был период Солнца во Льве, когда вы могли себя некомфортно чувствовать среди людей, которые проявляются более ярко, харизматично. В основном это огненные знаки. Те знаки, в которых пик периода Солнца во Льве был максимально благоприятным и потворствовал их развитию. Но этот период заканчивается. Что про ваш комфорт, раки? Когда вы сможете почувствовать себя принятыми, когда вы сможете проявиться ярче. Сейчас Солнце переходит в Деву, и пока что вам будет очень спокойно. Больше не будет вокруг вас тех людей, которые хотят задавить вас своим авторитетом или харизмой. Вы можете успокоиться. Сейчас наступает период легкости, радости для вас, и даже где-то вам придется отложить ответственность за себя или за ваших близких, потому что это время наполнения ресурсом. Но здесь есть важный нюанс. Вы не наполнитесь ресурсом, если продолжите отдавать его не тому партнеру. Что сейчас происходит в ваших отношениях, раки? Мы сейчас с вами это обязательно узнаем, но прежде чем карты нам дадут ответ, давайте я брошу камень. Камень нам нужен для того, чтобы понять, те отношения, которые есть у вас сейчас, ведут вас к полному доверию и взаимопониманию. Они питают вас, дают вам ощущение безопасности и эмоционального комфорта, будто бы вы вернулись домой. Или эти отношения, наоборот, построены на недоверии, разрушают всю вашу эмоциональную структуру и делают из вас бесконечного спасателя. Спасателя там, где человеку совершенно не требуется помощь. Сейчас я настроюсь на вашу энергию, раки, и я брошу камень. На какой сектор он попадет, тот ответ ты и принимаешь. Справа это будет ответ «да, остаться», остаться в этих отношениях, ведь в них есть перспектива, и слева уйти. Давай посмотрим, что же сегодня ответит тебе Вселенная. Итак, настраиваюсь на вашу мягкую энергию, на глубину и бросаю камень. Итак, сейчас я открою глаза и посмотрим, что ответила Вселенная. Раки, по сути, это и есть наш ответ – уйти. Как бы сейчас ни было бы вам грустно, и вы бы не хотели принимать эту реальность, но для вас это больше ответ «нет», чем «да». Да, это практически близко к середине, потому что вы и сами склонны к сомнениям. Вы хотите убедиться, что эмоционально больше незачем тащить эти отношения дальше. Но все-таки для сохранения собственной целостности важно, именно вам, раки, важно сейчас уйти. Давайте же посмотрим. Посмотрим теперь на 3 дальние дороги, 3 карты, 3 ответа на самый главный вопрос. Первое. Какая эмоциональная зависимость удерживала вас в этих отношениях? Второй вопрос. Как исцелить свое и так ранимое сердце после завершения этих отношений? Ну и, конечно же, третий вопрос. Кто или что придет в вашу жизнь после завершения тех отношений, которые уже нет смысла тащить на себе? Давайте посмотрим. Итак, первое, напоминаю, какая эмоциональная зависимость тянула вас в этих отношениях? 5 пентаклей. 5 пентаклей – это и бедность в буквальном смысле, это нищенство. Причем это вечная жертва, которой нужен костыль, которой всегда нужна опора. Раки, вы самые мягкие, вы самые прекрасные, глубокие люди, которые достают эти эмоции откуда-то изнутри, стали костылем вашему партнеру. В то время, когда вам самому нужна была эта опора, вы становились костылем, и это вас разрушало. В эмоциональном плане вы держались на зависимости в этих отношениях, на зависимости жертвы и спасателя. Это все, что есть на этой карте. Жертва и спасатель. Ваш партнер постоянно говорил вам о своем недостатке ресурсов, о бедности, о том, что у него что-то не хватает, и ему постоянно нужна была ваша поддержка. Партнер всегда искал в вас плечо, на которое можно опереться. Но готовы ли вы были дальше служить оставшуюся жизнь только жилеткой для слез, когда вам самому было плохо? Ведь вспомните, когда и вам было глубоко плохо, ваш партнер, скорее всего, перебивал вас фразой «Да, у тебя плохо, но вот у меня еще хуже». Часто ли такое было, раки? Это бедность глубины души вашего партнера. Именно поэтому ему действительно не везло ни в деньгах, ни в работе, ни в чем-либо другом. Он не мог заставить себя сделать действия. Он был жертвой обстоятельств, а вы спасали, вытягивали и тащили его, как раненого товарища на поле боя, куда-то с собой тогда, когда он уже и сам не хотел этого. Поэтому вашу эмоциональную зависимость, если вы уходите, вы отрезаете для того, чтобы ваш новый опыт не случился по тому же сценарию. Теперь второй вопрос. Как же исцелить свое сердце, раки? Ведь такие отношения, они не проходят бесследно. Вам нужно будет постоянно кого-то спасать, у вас появится это желание. Но как исцелить сердце? Как прийти в состояние ресурса после сложного расставания? Сила. Раки, вам понадобится проделать определенные действия. Это мягко, медленно, но верно, решительно идти своим путем. Будто бы на этом корабле вас будут задевать ветра, вас будут колыхать какие-то социальные рамки и установки. Например, вам могут сказать: «Как же так? Вы так долго были вместе. Неужели нельзя было сохранить отношения? И тем более вас обвинять в том, что вы что-то разрушили». Раки, будьте устойчивыми, ведь раньше вы же служили опорой другим людям, а теперь побудьте мачтой корабля для самого себя. Вам стоит быть максимально сосредоточенным на своем векторе. И в этом пути рождаются новые инструменты. После того, как вы сядете и поплывете на своем корабле в новую жизнь, в которой нет спасательства, в которой нету жертвы, которую нужно приносить изо дня в день, вы откроете для себя новые горизонты, и шторм сменится на легкий бриз. Вы увидите ясность, и это самое главное. Самое главное для вас сейчас – сохранить силу и устойчивость ваших намерений. И тогда это расставание вам удастся прожить гораздо легче. Ну а теперь третий вопрос. Кто или что придет в вашу жизнь не только после того, как вы хотите уйти, но и в период с 23 августа, когда Солнце перейдет в Деву? Девятка пентаклей. Смотрите, высвобождается эмоциональный ресурс, высвобождается энергия. Вы больше не тратите его на то, чтобы быть костылем для кого-то извне, и становитесь опорой для себя. И девятка пентаклей говорит о возможном завершении вашего финального ресурса в деньгах. Это финансы. Смотрите, как интересно получается. Вы уходите от бедности и скудности, в состоянии с вашим партнером обретаете свой собственный вектор и двигаетесь, и у вас параллельно завершаются ваши неразрешенные финансовые вопросы. Не бойтесь оставаться одному, вы найдете свою вторую половинку гораздо позже, а сейчас вы закроете свои вопросы, связанные с деньгами. Все, что было раньше, старые проекты, которым вы не уделяли внимания, потому что были жилеткой для слез, они могут закончиться в новый для вас период. И да, это пока не человек. Не стоит опираться на кого-то в такой период. Будьте опорой для себя, и ваши финансовые вопросы разрешатся. Все, что связано с материальностью, с проектами, с работой, улучшится в 3 раза. Раки, не бойтесь принимать решения. Вы не обязаны тащить всех за собой, тем самым замедляя свой собственный путь. Доверьтесь Вселенной и станьте опорой для самого себя. Leos, your brightest and most powerful solar period is now gradually coming to an end. Throughout the entire month of August, the Sun in Leo was focused almost completely on you, your confidence, your presence, and your royal state. I know, Leos, you do not particularly enjoy it when someone else dares to share the pedestal and spotlight with you. You want to remain the central figures, and you must feel like kings in everything you do. And from the very beginning of this August until today, you felt like you were truly at the absolute peak of your capabilities. It was as if the universe was preparing the very best things in this world for you. Everything worked out easily for you. It was as if everything just fell right into your hands. And this is truly good, powerful solar energy, especially for the most expressive Leos who are currently in a positive aspect of their own energy. Therefore, if you are a Leo and you did not feel the influence of this Sun in your life, then you should reflect on that. Most likely, you are not fully living out your natural, confident, radiant Leo energy, and you may not be expressing the solar qualities within you. In all likelihood, you are living by the moon and not manifesting in a positive way. Well, for those who are accustomed to royal chic and dazzling brilliance, who are used to always being in first place simply by right of birth, Leos, today's forecast is especially meant for you. But before laying out the cards, I want to remind you that everything I just said was referring specifically to the very beginning of August. Now, as we move beyond that point in time, there is an important change in the signs. The Sun in Leo, after August 23rd, is replaced by the Sun in Virgo. I wouldn't say Virgo is the exact opposite of your sign, but there is still a clear difference. You Leos like having everything around you organized and in order, even if you would rather enjoy that organization than be the ones doing it yourselves, while Virgo is more about steady effort and hard work. You will have to work a little bit. Leos, don't worry. No one will force you to work day and night, carry heavy loads, or remain unnoticed in the background. But you will have to conduct a thorough internal audit, review what is happening in your life, and organize everything, putting each thing back in its proper place. Even if you don't particularly want to, the universe will present you with this opportunity, and you need to listen closely. And today we are going to meet at one very specific point. What exactly is going to happen in your personal relationships after August 23rd? How will they transform, or will they simply remain in the same period they were in before? Let's take a closer look at what this means for you. It is important to understand all of this right now. And for you, Leos, so that no one can knock you off your throne, take away your leadership, or diminish your influence, especially your significant other. It is especially important right now to listen carefully to what we are going to discuss with you in just a moment. At this very second, we are going to perform just one action. I will now throw a small stone, and we will carefully watch to see exactly where it lands. Then I will tell you a little bit more about our two sectors, and after that we will ask the most important questions, depending on precisely where the stone lands. We will consider the situation carefully, and in the end it is either yes, stay here, or no, leave. So what will be important for you to do, Leos? How can you maintain your royal steadfastness? How can you maintain your status? And at the same time, do you even need these relationships? An important question. Will they support your kingdom or destroy it? Let's see what happens. I close my eyes, reach down, and pick up a stone. Let me feel it. So let's go ahead and throw it and find out the answer now, whether we should stay or leave. So our stone has landed firmly on the stay side. Leos, if this stone fell for you and you are seeing this message right now, please understand that everything may not be exactly as it appears. Your significant other is supporting you and standing by you rather than simply putting you down or making you feel discouraged. Perhaps the reality that you imagined for yourself looks quite different from the reality you are experiencing now. Let us look at the three main questions you need to find out, or at least understand, before the period of August Virgo begins, while the sun is still in your sign and there is still an opportunity to prepare. The universe has answered the question you have been asking, and the answer is that you need to stay where you are for now. So, before that period begins, take a moment to consider these questions and prepare yourself. Let's have the first card. The question will sound like this. What is it about this person, your partner, that has not yet been revealed to you? Yes, what you have not yet seen for yourself, and what will ultimately support your kingdom as you move forward. Next, let us consider this important question. What will the end of August ultimately decide for your couple? So that will be the second question. And let's have the third question. The peak of your relationship, when will it arrive? And the main piece of advice so that this peak is truly discovered. So now, let's take a closer look and see what you still haven't uncovered yet about your partner. After all, the stone indicated to you that you need to stay, which means there is still something to figure out. The King of Cups. The King of Cups is not a typical card for you, is it? You are more about fire, not about being filled with feelings. But look closely, Leos, because the most important thing for you is to be next to a person who genuinely admires you, who truly worships you, and who is literally at your feet. And your partner is indeed like that, even if you haven't fully uncovered this side of them yet. Of course, you may already notice that your partner treats you with spiritual depth, but there is still more to discover as you continue to observe how they respond to you. Your partner continues to support you in your endeavors, but up to this point, they haven't shown themselves to be as genuinely interested in you as they could reasonably be. Why is that? And what might be holding them back? To what extent? Leos, have you openly displayed your royal stature beside your partner in everyday life? To what extent has your partner truly recognized your noble nature, understood your worth, and acknowledged your primacy? To what extent have you truly expressed yourself? After all, your partner, as the card shows, firstly, loves you very much, and secondly, is genuinely ready to share this powerful energy with you on an emotional level. It is not just about talking to you and supporting you, or simply exchanging some kind of energy between the two of you. He is truly ready to give you all of his deepest feelings towards you, his love, his inspiration, and his genuine care. He is completely ready to give it all to you. He has so much of this to offer. Therefore, start observing your partner more closely, and you will surely see this beautiful, sensual nature within him. And now the second question. What does the very end of August activate in your own personal romantic relationship? After all, we have already seen that perhaps you did not receive enough attention and love, and we have also seen that despite this, there is still enough love. So what is activated at the end of August? Let's check it out. Here we have the Nine of Cups. Dear Leos, for those of you who have been dreaming for such a long time about finding the perfect marriage, I really want to take a moment to tell you this. Do you really think that getting married is the only confirmation of your significance, the only proof that you truly matter and have the stature of royalty? And since you have not received a marriage proposal or even a hint from your partner, for such a long time, you feel that you are still not yet worthy, and this is still severely damaging your self-esteem as the months continue. But the card here is good. The Nine of Cups says that it is precisely at the end of this August that a peak, a chance, an opportunity will appear in the final days, so that this situation will become clear for you. That is exactly why you shouldn't leave this relationship. And you see, fate has decreed that you were truly meant to stay, to wait just a little longer. And in time, you will definitely see a display of genuine care for you through a meaningful promise for the future. Yes, Leos, you are not only lovers of attention and royal status, you are also incredibly devoted family people. For you, confirmation of your significance is the sincere desire to build a loving family with you, expressed through a heartfelt proposal. So you can have no doubt your partner truly loves you, values your place in their life, and is thoughtfully making serious plans for a shared future with you. He is literally just one step away from making a decision, because the Ten of Cups, which comes after the Nine, is the card of family. But right now, you are at a turning point, where this proposal is gradually taking shape as a clear and concrete course of action. Well, let's see when this relationship is likely to reach its peak. So, the Hermit. This card says that you really shouldn't be asking yourself this question right now, because the highest point of the relationship is already happening right at the very end of this August. Even what we talked about is a transition from the Sun in Leo to the Sun in Virgo. This is already an incredible restructuring. You and your partner are tuning into the same wavelength. On your part, it is only necessary to make it clear that you want certainty from your partner, and your partner will form a clear intention and proposal towards you. Everything is fine in your relationship, so your peak is happening right now, at this very moment. And then you will move into a quieter period when you can slow down, ground yourself, and thoughtfully think over everything that has happened so far. That is precisely why you, dear Leos, drew the Hermit card on this particular day, August 20th. Not because you will retreat into oblivion and start feeling sad. This means there will be a period at the beginning of September when, after all the bright and significant events of this August have occurred and the month has drawn to its close, everything will conclude with a thoughtful period of restructuring, reflection, and careful consideration of future plans. And you see how everything is being confirmed because it all started with your partner's incredible feelings towards you. The confirmation lies in the fact that he wants to take a certain step towards you, a proposal, confirming your significance. For those who have been dating recently, this could be moving in together, but for those who have been in a relationship for a relatively long time, more than 2 years, more than 2.5, this is already a concrete step. And it is right now that is the peak of your relationship, not at any time later. And afterwards, at the beginning of September, there will be a time when you will just need to be yourself, recalibrate, and start moving forward in a new status. And your partner will be ready to support your royal status, stand beside you through every challenge, and be your loving partner for life, not merely for today, not only for this moment, but truly for a lifetime together. That is exactly why you ended up in the stay sector. In other words, the stay sector is telling you clearly, yes, this is the answer you will soon share and communicate to your partner. So Leos, please take a moment to listen closely to these recommendations, listen carefully to the reading, and be truly attentive as you observe your current reality. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should, happening precisely according to your own royal will and inner guidance. Geminis, listen closely because your time has finally come. You know, Geminis, you are an absolutely unique sign. After all, you are ready to talk anyone's ear off and are capable of doing so. For you, society is a natural and familiar environment. You can openly enter into communication with almost absolutely any person. Yes, Geminis, perhaps, just like Pisces and Libras, you have a dual nature. One side is socially active, while the other, on the other hand, is deeply sensitive, emotionally traumatized, and profoundly melancholic. But these two sides somehow coexist within you, and your incredibly broad outlook and experience give you the support to carry on a conversation. You can literally talk to a person continuously, keeping the conversation going easily and without running out of things to say. For you, by the way, the ideal field of work is anything related to communication and working with people, whether it is sales or perhaps social work or large-scale training. You can truly put a person into such a beautiful, captivating verbal trance. But you must remember to regularly replenish and restore your energy, Geminis. After all, remember that you are also prone to withdrawing into yourself. And from time to time, this withdrawal from reality into yourself can backslide into either unhelpful or unhealthy habits, or to the other people you communicate with. A sudden interruption of communication to restore your resources, given your naturally talkative personality, might seem like selfishness or ignoring the person. That is how versatile you truly are, Geminis. But your year, 2026, was mainly filled with vivid and memorable events. During this time, you met many fascinating people who became your essential lifeline, guiding you into entirely new spheres of life that you had never entered or explored before. And yes, it could have been genuinely difficult for you, but at exactly the right moment, thanks to your communication skills, the right person would appear to understand your situation and lead you out of that state of trouble. Yes, Gemini, you are exactly that kind of sign, which builds its foundation not just on an internal state, but also on meaningful external social contacts. And you are that very zodiac sign for whom it is permitted and legitimate not to build an incredible foundation within, but to divide it between the internal and the external. You are allowed to, Gemini. And 2026, specifically August 23rd, when the Sun in Leo shifts to the Sun in Virgo, will be a difficult transition. You will take a slightly different look at your entire circle of social contacts, specifically at literally every person within it, from a different angle. It will most likely become clear to you that about a third of your contacts are people who, on the contrary, steal your energy and do not give anything back in return. Yes, Gemini, you can sometimes be guilty of selfishness too. Sometimes you can be stingy with your energy towards society, but still, there are people in your circle who feed off you, and they are not your support system. And it is precisely during the transition period, after August 23rd, that such people will become more visible. You will be able to see them, identify them, and cut off communication with them. Therefore, this is a difficult period for you, but a very important one in your life. And what about your relationships, Gemini? What are you like in your couple, and how are these relationships built for you? Do they steal your energy, or on the contrary, do they actually recharge and refresh you? Do they help you as someone who loves to talk, feel heard and understood, or do they interrupt you or talk over you and leave you unable to speak your mind? Now I will open the stone, throw it, and then we will see what the main decision you need to make in your relationship really is. Whether you should stay if the stone lands on this side, or whether you should leave this relationship if the stone lands on the other side. And then we will look at the cards together. So I am throwing the stone and tuning into your energy of social contacts, the energy of conversations, interaction, and the speed of movement. So leave or stay, stay or leave. Now I will open my eyes and we will see the answer. Gemini, the answer is likely no. Yes, it is clearly on the borderline, but I think that for you, for a sign that is already almost always in a borderline state, the answer of no is ultimately the best decision. Given that ongoing uncertainty, you should probably leave. These relationships are terribly limiting you. They don't let you go beyond the limits of your capabilities. They don't give you freedom and expansion. They don't let you expand the zone of your useful contacts. Let's look at 3 cards. There are 3 main questions to consider today. First, what specific steps need to be taken right now to truly see the self-deception present in these relationships? Where exactly have you been deceiving yourself, and why have you not been giving the truth a real chance to come out? Second question, how do you want to go about restoring your own unique, vibrant flow of social energy in your daily life? And for the third most important question, what kind of amazing future and environment awaits you in the period following August 23rd? So let's take a look. First question, what was the biggest self-deception you had in these relationships, Gemini? The Sun. The biggest self-deception is that you thought you were everything to your partner. It seemed to you that the actions they were taking towards you were energizing you. But in reality, Gemini, you were already the Sun before this, and it was you who were giving all your free and sometimes even reserve energy to your partner. Look at the situation realistically. In this state of self-deception, you might have failed to notice the harsh reality that your partner was living off your resources. And if for other signs the sun was a bright luminary, here for you the sun is at the absolute peak of destruction, where the heat and warmth are so intense that painful burns begin to appear, and this deep self-deception was holding you back from finding fulfillment in your relationships. Let's look at the second question. How to restore your unique flow of energy? The Empress. Gemini. Softness is very characteristic of you, including calm, inner strength, a love of domestic life, and a strong need for comfort. Everything you are recommended to do after a breakup is to gently focus on your family, your parents, brothers, and sisters, visit your childhood home, or simply spend quiet time in a cozy, warm, and comforting home atmosphere where you can feel safe and supported. In the evenings, sit comfortably under a warm blanket, watch your favorite movies, and take some quiet time to reflect on your own about how you want to thoughtfully build your incredibly unique future. Let's look at the answer to the third question. What kind of amazing future awaits you after the breakup and after the period of August 23rd? And here is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is about working through your karmic lessons. Your karmic cycle in these relationships is coming to an end, and you are finally breaking free. Yes, I don't deny it. You are emerging a bit with a shattered inner world, with a new understanding of yourself, of those illusions that you previously considered correct, but now they no longer work. But ultimately, this serves as a solid foundation for us to keep moving forward. The Eight of Cups suggests that you will be temporarily emotionally drained in order to fill your cups with new emotions. But please do not forget about the crucial stage where you build your home deep inside your most important comfort zone. A comfort zone that, for you, Gemini, will this time truly become a warm, cozy sanctuary where you can fully recharge your spirit and be ready for new, truly equal relationships. These are connections where you are never pushed into the background and where both your best qualities and your complex shadow sides are deeply understood and valued. Gemini, most importantly, as you leave these relationships, give yourself plenty of time and space to fully replenish your emotional resources for the rest of the year and for the healthy, fulfilling relationships you build in the future. And that's the end of the 12 zodiac signs. Let's do that part again. And that's the end of all 12 zodiac signs. I am quite sure that each of you has found the key words for yourself in this video and truly heard what was most important. And of course, if you didn't quite remember everything, please know that you can always go back to the specific timestamp that corresponds to your zodiac sign whenever you need to. Today, there was a stone throw, a moment that brought a clear choice before you. There were two options, to stay where you are or to leave and move on. And regardless of what you specifically got from this message, my dears, you will proceed from here based on what you heard today, carrying that understanding with you as you continue forward. Most importantly, to activate and seal today's reading, write the word choice in the comments below as your clear sign of commitment to this reading. I will definitely see it, and you will seal and activate today's reading key for yourself. Write the word choice in the comments. I read and look at every comment, and it is genuinely important for me to see your response. Please like the video, subscribe to this channel, and move into this autumn of 2026 confidently, fully prepared, and with valuable resources with your head held high. With love, your Valentina, and thank you so much for being here and supporting me.